Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Chatting Pitch. This is me, Leslie, and...
Hello, this is me, Matt Smith.
Hello there. Well, that is a little bit of delay. We're doing it remotely again, but we're hoping to do it in person at some point, because we're getting a little studio, you know. That'll be nice.
Exciting.
Oh yeah. Because we're making the monies. Everyone's throwing money at us.
Next we'll get microphones, and that'll be really good. Because right now...
We get a studio, but then we just don't have microphones.
Right now we have to do it every time someone wants to listen to it. We have to do it live every single time for whatever episode.
Yeah.
Which is really... Yeah. It's... The money on petrol alone is just extravagant. Extravagant.
Yep.
So, yeah, it'd be nice to be able to record it.
Extravagant. So, this week... we are going to be doing a episode about sequels. Now, sequels that don't exist. And we had the idea of, why don't we just take one of those classic films that don't have any sequels, right? You've got your, you can't just pick a movie that's already got a sequel planned and try and come up with a sequel. But it's one of those ones that don't spark franchise. You know, they don't say, hey, look.
Yeah.
So if I said, let's do a sequel for Avatar, it's like, there's already another one coming, so can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, you've got, you know, your Iron Man 2, your Iron Man 3, your Avengers, your Avengers 2, your Infinity War, your Endgame, you know, you got your Thor Dark World, your Thor Ragnarok, your Thor Love and Thunder. I mean, just sequels to all the movies, mate. Those are all the movies. What I found difficult, actually, is I was looking at my DVD shelf. I have no idea where I was going with that. I was looking at my DVD shelf.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the punchline.
It's not there. It's just the setup.
Cool.
What I found difficult, I don't know about you, is that every film that was catching my eye had a sequel. And it actually amazed me how many maybe modern movies have a sequel or, like you say, build a franchise of some sort afterwards.
Yeah.
Or even ones that just have those awful sequels. You know, like Aladdin 7, The Cave of Wonder.
You mean like the direct to DVD, direct to video sequels?
Yeah.
Yeah, like Lion King 3.25 or something like that. Do you remember that? They did Lion King 1.
I've seen that, yes.
They did Lion King 2, Simba's Pride or something like that, and Lion King 3. It was like 3.75 or something.
It was 3.5, I think, and it was Timon and Pumbaa's Adventures.
I don't know why they did that. Is that a joke on the fact that Timon is so small? Like,
I don't know if it's it is a more comedic sequel.
Mm-hmm.
There are actually sort of quite, I don't want to say serious, but quite sort of grand moments in The Lion King that actually get ruined in 3.5 because they play it for jokes. I think it's pretty funny. 3.5.
I haven't seen it. So
I remember it being pretty funny.
But enough about sequels that exist. Let's talk about sequels that don't exist. Imagine a world where there is a movie where the characters finished their story arc. Like, for instance, A Marriage Story with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, which was a great movie, but then imagine what would happen afterwards. Remarriage, kind of like Matrix Reloaded. So yeah, something like that. But like, I don't know, maybe it could be with a twist. We haven't really decided where we're going to go with it. But without further ado, on with the show. Let's play the jingle. Episode 6. That was a 5-minute intro. And we're back.
That was a really long intro.
That was a really
we got to cut that thing down. So anyway, we were thinking, like you said before, that really long intro, for those of you who've forgotten, sequels that maybe do a bit of a twist on the original, or it could just be a continuation of the story, because we feel like there should be more. My first one that I thought of that I thought could be quite interesting would actually be Gone Girl. Spoilers for Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. Yeah, the one where the girl just plays the gong like for 2 hours.
Yeah, the Gong Girl. Yeah,
We're thinking about the right. We're thinking about the same movie, right? The
yeah,
Gong Girl.
Yeah, the Gong Girl. Yeah,
Oh, it's
was-
the Gong Girl.
she was on the Gong
Here she
Show.
comes, bong. Yeah. Sorry.
With a score
Yes,
by
Gone
hand
Girl
in
with
that.
Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike. How do you pronounce her name? Rosamund Pike?
Pike,
Okay.
mate. It's you know it's not Rosamund Pike. You know.
Okay, fine. And then who else was in it? It was just them two, wasn't it? And then a bunch of other
They were
actors
the
holding
main ones that I
Dunkin'
remember.
Donuts.
Dunkin'
Remember?
Donuts. I did think that this sequel could fill in the gaps for any companies that didn't get any product placement in there.
Yeah, so like Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play all the sides. That film is insane, isn't it? Just
I remember, like, me and Matt watched Gone Girl in the cinema, and then at one point, I just turned to Matt and said, there's a lot of product placement in this, isn't there? And then Matt just said to me, oh, really? I didn't really notice. Next cut, it's just a big sign that says Beck's Beer. And he's like, oh, okay.
oh,
And
okay.
then-
I see it now.
And then there's like KFC, there's McDonald's, there's Sony Bravia TV or something like that, drones. There's even a shot where it's just a whole shed full of products.
Yes, and it's like an ad, isn't it? The door opens and the camera just moves in very softly, and it looks like an ad for.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe that was kind of the point of that shot. I don't know, because isn't it at that point where Rosamund Pike is buying him all these sort of gifts, isn't it?
But the thing is, was it detrimental to the storyline to have all those brands to signify how expensive things were, or would it have still worked if it didn't have any brands on them? You know.
I think it worked for that instant where she has all the
Sony.
Where, I think it would be weird if there were no brands at all.
Yeah, it would be weird if it was like Broly and like Maple or something like that. It's just weird off-brand companies. Because you've seen that happen sometimes in when there's a film that shows Google, but then they couldn't get Google, so that it just like Schmoogle. A really good example was in Bruce Almighty, where they couldn't get Yahoo, so it was Yahweh. Do you remember?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And he's logging in to get those emails from the prayers, and then as he logs in, it goes, Yahweh! And it's like, you have prayers. But I guess that it only really works if it's comedy, you know? For a serious film like Gone Girl, you kind of have to have those realistic brands, but my God, were they just in your face?
Yeah. Well, throughout the rest of the movie, I don't see much of an excuse apart from the fact that I guess they wanted money.
It's like the Dunkin' Donuts thing, man. It was so blatantly obvious, and every time they held the cup, it was just like maybe one or two things were covering like a letter or two, but like it was just in front of the frame that you could see.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
I can't watch the scene where the Beck's Beers come up now without laughing, which is a shame because it's a great scene. But
do we want to try and run a sequel with that and see what happens? Because do you remember the movie?
Yeah. So it ends with Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike's character sort of getting back together.
Yeah.
I think Ben Affleck's character maybe wants to leave her and to sort of reveal all the bad stuff that she had done.
Sorry. We should probably say, if you haven't seen Gone Girl, we're really sorry for spoiling it. We'll probably put it in description, just say, or maybe like even earlier on, we'll say, if you haven't seen Gone Girl, don't listen any further. You can skip ahead. Maybe we'll put some timestamps in there. But for this whole episode, in fact, I think it's probably spoiler territory because we're basically talking about what would happen after the movie. But anyway, carry on.
I suppose we could I could just sit here and record spoilers for, and then we could just say the title of the movie, and we could just use that audio of me saying spoilers for, and then we could just.
Okay, that'll be fun in the editing stage. Just spoilers for.
Gone Girl.
Just use like a robot voice. Gone Girl.
So Rosamund Pike's character reveals that she's pregnant, and what is it? Essentially, Ben Affleck's character I think from that and other things, is essentially forced to stay with her. And they have to. I remember there's a scene where they sort of play happy couples for a TV show. There's like an interview.
Yeah.
So I feel like there could be a good sequel where you'd have sort of less of the mystery and it's more of this tension between the two of them being forced to live together. Maybe there's still TV coverage of them. Maybe they've got their child now. Maybe you have that question of like Ben Affleck's character, should I influence this child or should I just try and raise them as like a normal parent would? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that's the ending. I've only seen it the one time, and it was Gone Girl was a long girl. Like it was a long movie.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember all the beats throughout the thing, but the general gist of it was that she went missing, right? At one point.
Yeah.
Why did she go missing? Was it because she just didn't want to be in that life anymore? Someone was an author, right? Was Ben Affleck the author?
She had a bit of a twisted sort of mind. I think he was a professor and her parents were authors.
Mm-hmm.
Because the famous character that they had was based on her, sort of. The character of Amazing Amy.
Yeah.
And Rosamund Pike's character sort of hates how it's like her if she'd have been a bit better.
Right, okay.
Like an idealized version of her.
So the parents were kind of making a caricature of her.
Yeah.
In like an ideal form. But she wasn't exactly like that, and that's why she left. She just became gone. And
I guess you could have that in the sequel. Like maybe history repeats itself. Maybe Rosamund Pike's character does that to the child. Oh, this is going to be such a good movie. Gone Girl 2. Or should it be...
You could do the bait and switch kind of thing where it's like you think the same thing's going to happen, but oh no, Ben Affleck's gone missing. Gone man. Missing man. Alliteration.
I was about to say, should it be like Batgirl? But yeah, it could be Gone man. But Gone boy.
But you know how sequels always have this thing where they have to have an element of the original movie title to let the audience know that this is in fact a sequel. So, for example, hate to bring it up, but you know the Twilight series.
Yeah.
In the books, the first book was called Twilight. The second book was called New Moon, right?
Yeah.
But in the movies, they were like, if we just called it New Moon, everyone's not going to know what it's about. So they have to slap the title.
Yeah.
The Twilight Saga, you know?
Yeah.
So in this situation, would it be Gone Man? Or do you think the people would understand it's a sequel if we said Missing Man? Because Gone Girl is like GG. Missing Man.
MM.
You know, MM. Or would it be Missing Man, the Gone Girl Saga?
I think
that's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful.
Like Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. You know,
I do think you'll get some people going to buy the DVD for Missing Man, and you'll get a lot of confused Eminem fans. I think.
well, Marshall Mathers.
Yeah.
Well, it depends how they, market the title. If they literally just had Eminem on the cover. And it said Missing Man. He's just like, Ben Affleck couldn't come back for the role, so they had to cast Eminem in it. Like, that would be even more confusion.
I thought this was going to be a good sequel, and now it's just going over the edge, mate. It's too much.
We haven't really. We're just talking about the title, but no. What would happen? So you're talking about
you would have Ben Affleck go missing. So sort of.
It would be kind of like a sequel, Toy Story 2 scenario. You know how Woody goes missing instead of Buzz.
Right.
And then it's up to the old gang to save them.
Yeah, because it could be Ben Affleck escaping, and Rosamund Pike is, hunting him down.
Yeah.
So you've got that tension instead, and you've got that mystery.
Could be. How does it end?
Where's he taken his Sony Bravia? I don't know. It ends with a shot of an iPod. I don't know. I just get the feeling that. Go on.
It just turns out like everything's in the cloud, and you have to like go to the Dropbox headquarters to
find Ben Affleck.
Yeah, to find Ben Affleck. Yeah.
To download Ben Affleck.
He's uploaded his consciousness into Dropbox. Yeah, that's definitely not a sequel that I would, pitch to a studio exec. But how would it end for you?
I would not have Ben Affleck go missing. I would have the sort of Hitchcockian tension of, we know everything about these characters now. We know that there's almost like a ticking time bomb with Ben Affleck's character wanting to leave, but also he's being pulled to stay because he wants to care for his child, or who he thinks is his child. I can't remember if it is his child at the end of the first one. But yeah, and just what would happen with that. I don't know, how would you have it end?
I'll have it begin with Ben Affleck waking up and then get Ben Affleck going to sleep, mirroring the first one, but then we could just fill in the gaps with it doesn't really matter. It's just the beginning and end. It has to be the same.
I mean, it depends. It depends on which fast food outlets want to pay us for product placement. That will decide the plot.
I think the main product placement or the main brand endorsement should be Benson's for beds. So then you'd have to have the beginning and the end. Or Dreams, or whatever other...
Or a Simba mattress, whatever. We're not getting money for this. We're not getting money for this, by the way.
No, we're not. What's another famous mattress company? Casper Mattress.
Casper Mattress, yeah. There's so many. Mattress, which went under because people thought it was an Eminem album again. He's everywhere.
Well, people thought they would get 2 mattresses, but they only got 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you hate that when that happens? You go to get a double-decker mattress and you pay for the thing and it comes out, it's just a single one. I hate that.
The only time that I'm pleasantly surprised is when I open up a packet of M&Ms and there's more than 2.
So you expect 2 large M&Ms, but then
M&M. Yeah. Whoa! There's so many more M&Ms in it.
I mean, they're a lot smaller than I thought they'd be, but oh my god, there's like 12 of these.
Imagine just 2 giant M&M, just like 2 giant balls of chocolate, and that's how it should have been. That's what I expected. But yeah,
every time as well, because I've seen you open multiple packs of M&Ms, and every time you're surprised.
Yeah,
it's like you forget.
Well, I think we've pretty much wrapped up the
I think we
sequel. I think we could probably do like a few of these. What's another? Let me just, if you've got one on your list, which I'm sure you have, because every week you seem to have prepared notes where I just come in.
I like to come prepared.
You come in guns blazing, and I'm just here with a pair of socks. I'm just having a look at my. I'll bring the microphone with me. I'm just gonna have a look at my DVD shelf as usual, and just see, is there an oh, here we go. What about a sequel to La La Land?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
go on.
Instead of jazz, they moved to a new musical genre. It's like
see, I was going to do Whiplash too with the same thing. Go on, what would you go with?
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Why don't we have like the universe? It's kind of like MCU where Justin, what's his name? What's the name of the director? Justin Chateau? Chamberlain? Timothy... What's the name of the director?
Oh.
Justin Chatswitz.
Yes.
Justin... I've got the DVD.
I'm going to look it up.
I'll just have a look. I can beat you. It is.
Damien Chazelle.
Why did I say Justin?
There is a Justin... someone who does the music, I think.
Oh, that's him. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking Justin. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, what if...
Justin Hurwitz.
Justin Hurwitz, yeah, there we go. What if it was an MCU situation where Damien Chazelle's universe of movies come together?
So a DCU, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Got some major copyright problems.
Whiplash. So we got J.K. Simmons playing...
See, I would like to see the crossover from vaguely sort of mad restaurant owner that he is in La La Land to utterly intense music teacher in Whiplash. How do we get there?
Are we talking about blending the characters together, or are you talking about...
was
La La Land like a prequel to Whiplash?
Oh well, you were saying let's have a Damien Chazelle universe. Let's have a DCU with Whiplash and La La Land, presumably. But because J.K. Simmons is cast as two characters and J. Jonah Jameson, what do we do? Maybe they're brothers.
Yeah, maybe they are. Okay, well, let's just screw that then. Why don't we just do sequel to Whiplash and also sequel to La La Land?
So, your La La Land sequel, I want to hear this.
My La La Land sequel, right. But you said you were going to do the same thing with Whiplash in terms of changing genres. Was that your idea? Or was it just the sequel to Whiplash that was going to be something completely different?
So I did a very similar thing to you where I just looked through my DVD rack and I just thought, okay, Whiplash 2 with a slight change of genre. But let's hear your idea.
No, I don't want to step on your toes if you already had an idea in your...
Nah, go for it, mate.
In your... Because I remember I did that once. You had a joke and I stepped all over your joke. And I didn't, like, looking back at it now, at the time, I didn't realise.
And I never let you forget it. Right.
I didn't realise you were making a joke. And then when you were saying what you were saying, and I don't know, I just spoke what was on my mind. And then 10 minutes later, it clocked on thinking, oh, he was doing a joke. And then I realised I felt really bad and I never mentioned it again until now.
For those people who maybe have never listened to an episode before, that's generally how my jokes go, that I say something that goes very long and rambly, and then 10 minutes later, the person listening to me goes, oh, that was supposed to be funny. So that's what is in store, really.
No, that's only happened the one time. For me, anyway.
For you,
most
anyway.
Most of the time, for other... I remember you telling me once, I don't know who it was, what company it was, but you were just saying joke after joke and none of them were landing because the person just didn't understand the sarcasm. And they just confused your sarcasm for rudeness. And just thought, oh, man, this guy's really rude. and then you had to, I don't know if you explained or someone else explained, it was like, oh, no, that's Matt being funny. That's his shtick.
Oh no, you don't understand. He's being funny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
I'll tell you after the episode is finished because I don't want to mention any names, but I have a feeling I know who it was.
I think I know the time that you mean. Was this when I made a gag about Tom Cruise playing a Maverick? Was it that one?
Was that at my birthday party?
Oh, okay.
No.
We're thinking of completely different things.
That's not the one that I was thinking of. But when you said Top Gun and a Maverick, it sparked a memory. But no, I think we are thinking of the same thing. Anyway, this is completely not what we were talking about. So, La La Land. Okay.
Spoilers for La La Land.
I didn't want to step on your toes, but this is just off the cuff. I'm just thinking aloud. So, La La Land is all about kind of like jazz, at least Ryan Gosling's version of jazz, which arguably, apparently, jazz musicians don't agree with his ramblings about jazz and how he thinks like, oh, jazz has to be saved, and like jazz is dying.
Okay.
It's like jazz never died. But I think the jazz musicians kind of disagree with him. But that's besides the point. If we take the ending, and this is spoilers again, we'll cut in Matthew saying his catchphrase.
La La Land.
Yeah, there we go. And then we end with Emma Stone's character marrying some other dude after they had a very on and off relationship with Ryan Gosling. And Ryan Gosling opened up his bar called Seb's, I believe, with the apostrophe with a little...
I think that's right, yeah.
The crotchet note. And that was Emma Stone's idea. And that was almost his character arc because he never listened to Emma Stone. He was quite stubborn, and then at the end he decided, oh, actually it was quite a good idea, and found solace in having his own bar opened. He followed his dreams. They both followed their dreams, but ultimately they kind of branched apart and had separate lives.
Yeah, they chose their dreams and not their relationship.
And then at the end you kind of see, I think, is it Emma Stone was in the bar that he opened? The jazz bar?
Yes, yeah. She goes with her husband for whatever reason.
Yeah, for whatever reason. She was like, oh, let's check out Seb's. It can't be who I think it is, can it? Oh, it is. It's Ryan Gosling.
I thought it was Sebastian Vettel, well-known Formula One race car driver, but no.
I thought it was Sebastian Stan, also known as the Winter Soldier, doing his stand-up. Imagine.
Don't you hate it when you get your arm torn off and just grasshoppers?
Don't you hate it when you get manipulated by what was the was it Russians? Was it
Don't you hate it when you get brainwashed? Don't you hate it when you get frozen and then there's just Han Solo in the background going, yes, but everyone else is quiet.
Crickets.
I'm so there.
Anyway,
but of course that wouldn't happen for any quibblers out there. We do know that wouldn't happen because Star Wars was of course set a long time ago. So
yeah, just
a joke.
Or did it?
Weren't being real. Sorry, go on.
No, yeah. Just to clarify, that was a joke. Matt was doing a joke. So yeah, so
maybe we should put timestamps for everywhere I tell a joke.
Yeah, maybe we should. Anyway, let me finish. So Emma Stone, she goes into Seb's, and then they have this huge kind of montage singing thing where they lock eyes. They imagine what the world would have been like if they actually stayed together, and it cuts back to reality. And she looks up at Ryan Gosling. Turns out it's not Ryan Gosling at all. It's Sebastian Stan doing stand-up. If we were going to be legit about this, so after that, I guess, could it be a possibility that Ryan Gosling's club kind of doesn't hold up because it's so... we can make it current as well. So because no one's going to bars, everyone's staying home, he runs out of business. What's he going to do? I know there's a huge booming industry online. So he decides to open a jazz bar online and try to online stream his jazz music.
I thought you were going to say he does a podcast where he talks about jazz.
He could do a podcast, yeah. So it could be La La Land : online.
Yes,
you know, or like,
and his mission is to get Mark Maron to make an appearance on his podcast, and he knows that when Mark Maron shows up, he's made it.
Yeah.
You said you were going to change musical genre. What could we go with there?
But the more I think about it, I feel like changing the musical genre is just almost like a gimmick, because it doesn't make any sense if Ryan Gosling, his character, is so passionate about jazz. Why he would suddenly change musical genre, unless it's kind of like a thing where he's like, oh, I need to make money, so he does a Star is Born situation where instead of coming from the roots of country music and all that, he starts doing pop music.
Right.
But then again, that kind of mirrors the same thing when he did with he met with John Legend's character and he started playing in a pop band, didn't he?
Yeah, it was like updated, like jazz / pop, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe Ryan Gosling becomes a rapper, like one of those online SoundCloud rappers. Have you heard about those? Where they're just, there's people with loads of tattoos on their face, really colourful hair.
Right.
Sometimes they've got braids and all that. Like there's this popular one called 6ix9ine. There's another one called Lil Peep or Lil. He could be like Lil Seb.
Lil Seb, yeah.
He starts getting loads of tattoos.
And the the apostrophe in the Lil,
yeah,
is the what did you call it? The crotch note?
It's a crotchet note, I think.
Crotchet note. That makes more sense.
The crotch note.
I don't know what it is. I'm not musical like you.
I know you're not. It's fine. It's just funny that you called it a crotch note, because crotch is something else entirely.
It's almost as if I did it on purpose.
Almost as if I didn't know. It's me stepping on your joke again. So yeah, Lil Seb, he's out there trying to make a living, make a buck of uploading rap songs about jazz. It's like started from the jazz. Now I'm online. I don't rap. So
no. How would it go?
All right, starting from the jazz club came online. Now I know I gotta make a dime. Holla, rewind, and then Missy Elliott comes in and starts going like, "Hey, a freaking now!" I just spilled water all over myself. My raps were too much. And then Emma Stone logs onto the interwebs, and it's just like, oh, little Seb, I recognise that crotchet note, and then sends a DM over to them.
And as they stare into each other's profile pictures, they imagine what life would be like.
Yeah, and then they'll be like, oh, I like your bars. Like, I like the way you spit those bars. And then Ryan's like, yo, you don't know anything about rap. And then she's like, oh, yeah, show me. And then history repeats. They meet up again, but like digitally online on Zoom or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he starts mansplaining rap to her. And then ultimately he gets his big break where he gets a record deal with, whatchamacallit, Big Time Records, whatever. And then happily ever after, I guess. How does that end? How does it go?
I love that.
You can't get a better movie than that, mate. You can't get a better movie
honestly, it took a little to get started, but that's a movie, that.
And then, like, maybe halfway through he invests in Bitcoin to try and up his profit. And then at the end it all comes crashing down.
But there's hope because Emma Stone's character follows him on Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's the last shot of the movie.
They both get that little blue tick, like, next to their name. And it's like, La La Land 3, sequel bait. This time it's even further online.
I really like that. I really like that idea.
Anyway, that's mine. Let's hear your Whiplash idea.
That's a lot better than Whiplash too.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I didn't think about mine, really. I just kind of just went with it.
Well, here's the thing. I thought about mine. So mine would go as follows. Instead of jazz, it's rap, and it stars Millie Bobby Brown and Vanilla Ice, and that's it.
Did you actually write that down?
Yeah, I felt the need to write that down.
When I started saying rap, I didn't know that you were thinking about rap. So why did that happen?
It's almost like we're on the same wavelength. We're just so in tune.
It's like we've got the same brain, except two bodies.
That'd be so strange. We're the two men with one brain. There you go. There's a sequel to the Steve Martin film, Man with Two Brains. It's the brain with two bodies.
Oh, Jesus.
Tick that one off. Next.
Do you not want to elaborate on your Whiplash idea?
Oh, no, that was it. I thought...
That was it.
You know, we do our chatting pitch thing, and we like to imagine, you know, these are ideas we'd pitch to Hollywood producers. And I feel like I would get the money just by saying it's a follow-up to Whiplash, and it's got Millie Bobby Brown in.
Yeah.
And Vanilla Ice would do it for virtually no money. So it's a lock-in.
For exposure.
That's a green light.
Like, unlimited ice cream.
Yeah.
So,
unlimited visits to the crepe station.
So I'm quite intrigued, though, because is Vanilla Ice the mentor, and Millie Bobby Brown is obviously the student, and she's trying to be the best rapper in the world, but so this is like a spiritual sequel, not a direct sequel.
Oh, it's not a direct sequel, no. None of the original characters turn back up.
But Whiplash, the name of the song...
Well,
the name of the song Whiplash became the name of the title, right?
Well, maybe Miles Teller's character could come back as like a cameo, and maybe he records the drumming part from Whiplash, and they use that for the rap version. There we go. Yes,
very good. But like, what I'm trying to also get at is that because the title of the film Whiplash was named, it was like a double entendre. It was, you know, he has a car crash like in the middle of the movie, and then that's like alluding to getting whiplash, right?
Yeah.
But then also the name of the song, that one of the songs that they play is called Whiplash, isn't it?
Yes.
Am I getting this wrong?
It is called Whiplash, yeah.
So, is there a Vanilla Ice song out there that could be the name of this title?
Okay.
A Whiplash story, or a Whiplash saga.
Oh, I can't believe I'm looking up Vanilla Ice discography.
The only one I know is Ice Ice Baby.
So, does it have to relate to a car crash, or...?
No, I mean, it could be anything. Well, it depends if it's something that happens in the movie, because if you want to go with a double entendre route, you have to pick a song title that also could relate to the storyline, which doesn't exist.
Maybe it could be Vanilla Ice back-to-back hits. So instead of just one car crash. There's a car crash followed by another car crash.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so 2 car crashes instead of 1.
Yeah, green light.
It's like how Star Wars, they had a bigger Death Star. Twice as big.
Yes. Yes. Twice the death. It's like you die and then you die again. So I think that's pretty much a green light. Any others you thought up, mate?
Well, we're coming up to the 40-minute mark. Do we want to keep going, or do you have any more? Because I don't have any more.
We got a few more, but we could talk about them in another one. We could do a sequel one again.
Oh, we can do a sequel to the podcast episode. Whoa, so meta.
So exciting.
Yeah.
I could talk about my sequel to the Coen Brothers film, which I have called No Continent for Older Men.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just thought it was the same sort of naming principle that could give us, eventually we could have the film 5 Men and a Baby, which would be a bit crowded. But it's the same sort of naming principle.
Okay. Let me have a look at my good old DVD shelf again to see if there's anything in here that would warrant a decent sequel that hasn't had a sequel. Oh, you know what it could be? What about if there was a sequel to Looper? You know, the one with Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt? That never had a sequel. That could totally
could you do that as a sequel? I mean, he...
Yeah.
Sorry. Spoilers for Looper. He shoots himself at the end, doesn't he?
He does shoot himself, but then the Rainmaker gets off scot-free, doesn't he?
Okay.
Or if it could be the Rainmaker, because the whole idea of the thing was that, we have to kill the Rainmaker before he becomes the Rainmaker, but the Rainmaker goes off anyway, right? But then, time travel is a bit of a wishy-washy kind of way of explaining. Like, you can't exactly have a movie make sense with time travel, so any rules could happen here.
Because even Bruce Willis himself says, don't look too much into it, otherwise we're going to be sitting here drinking our milkshakes all day, or something like that.
It's like, oh man, all this time travel nonsense just it fries your brain like an egg, or something like that. Isn't that something that he says?
Yeah, but really quietly. It fries your brain like an egg.
It says fries your brain, but I don't know if he says the egg line, but I'd like to think he does, because he looks a bit like an egg.
Because he's bald, yeah. Spoilers.
Bruce. Well, he's not always bald. There's that moment where he transitions from Joseph Gordon-Levitt to Bruce Willis, and there's this bit where he's just got this awful haircut.
Awful hair. But I think it's almost like played as, yes, we know it's awful hair, but it's what's in fashion at that time.
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't do a thing where they probably had the budget to do it. They should have slowly morphed his face into Bruce Willis's face. So there should have been a version where it was like half... Like
that old...
him starting to gain a bit of weight.
Right.
You know how when you Photoshop two faces together?
Yeah.
Because it just goes from Joseph Gordon-Levitt with makeup on to bam, it's Bruce Willis with the awful haircut. There should have been a bit more gradualness between that. That's how I feel. And they probably had the budget to do that, but I don't know why it just crashed straight into...
So you think they should have actually CGI'd their heads together?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe that could go into your sequel, mate. Maybe the Rainmaker ends up, through time travel and science, ends up meeting Bruce Willis's character at that point in his life when he's got 2 faces.
You make a good point though about the.
I don't know where I've made any good points in the last 40 minutes, but yeah, go on.
I think what you've reminded me of was I once read a review of someone reviewing Looper, and they said they want to see a movie of that portion of that montage. When you see him live out his life until he gets old, right?
Right.
Imagine that as a movie. I think that would have been quite good. So young Bruce Willis becoming old Bruce Willis. And then we can do the whole CGI thing with his face.
Or could we have Joseph Gordon-Levitt going into a barbershop and then he comes out as Bruce Willis with that haircut to go completely against what you've said, but to amuse me.
Well, and the name of the barbershop is like, "We'll cut your hair and your face."
Yeah.
Because you can't go get a haircut and come out looking like Bruce Willis without...
No, just play it as if no one will notice. Just play it like that.
Yeah.
It's just a normal barbershop.
Okay.
He's got a head full of hair, but of course that's not fashionable now. So he goes in and he has some weird long comb over thing.
Yeah, so he gets it shaved off and then he becomes Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, that's a wrap on Joseph Gordon-Levitt today.
What would the name of the film be?
Ooh.
Tooper.
Oh, yes.
Toupee. No, it'll be Trooper, right? But then the toupee portion is highlighted in a different colour than the R, and then they got the apostrophe. And the apostrophe is just a bit of Bruce Willis' hair coming off.
Yes.
Yeah, Trooper.
Perfect. Green light.
Brilliant.
I think we've got to end it there, haven't we? Can't get any better than that.
That was a miracle that I came up with Trooper.
Before, the film wouldn't even work, and there isn't even a toupee in the film. But it's a real break in the fourth wall title.
Although maybe the reason why it's called Trooper is because Bruce Willis regrets getting his hair cut, so he has to wear a toupee for the rest of the film.
Yeah. Oh, so maybe 5 minutes after that shot, when he's sort of slowly turning round, showing himself as Bruce Willis, and he's just slowly turning round, and then the camera like widens the shot, and he's in a wig shop, and he's like, "I'll take that one," and he's got like an afro.
Just imagining Bruce Willis with an afro now. Just like a full-on, it looks so obviously a wig.
Yeah.
Have you seen that clip of Bruce Willis on Stephen Colbert where he came on with like a piece of meat on his head?
No.
Because he was trying to do because Lady Gaga at the time, she did this thing where she went to either a premiere or an award ceremony.
Oh, this was the meat dress. Yeah.
Yeah, the meat dress thing, yeah. And then Bruce Willis said like, I'm just doing what Lady Gaga did. And he's just like sitting there for the whole interview with just a slab of meat on his head, like his bald head.
For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, look up Lady Gaga meat dress, because our description can't really do it justice.
Yeah, and then look up Bruce Willis meat hair.
meat Bruce Willis meathead, and you'll...
I'll tell you what, if you Googled right now, Bruce Willis meat hair or meat wig,
let's
you'll see
have
a picture of him just with a piece of meat on his head.
Bruce Willis meat. Oh, Google comes up with Bruce Willis meat popsicle. What's this all about?
Oh no, that's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh, it's a clip from Fifth Element. Okay, Bruce Willis meat head. What a meathead! Bruce Willis does Gaga. That's from...
Is that from Stephen Colbert's YouTube channel?
Oh my god, it is like a wig, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just literally a slab of meat on his head.
When you said just a slab of meat, I thought you meant just flat on the top of his head. He's sort of having to balance it. But this is like... It's like mince.
Oh yeah, they put some effort into it.
Yeah. He's really thought about this.
Probably not so much a slab, more of like a...
It's more of a hairpiece, isn't it? It's a meat wig.
I haven't seen it in a while. Let me just have a look.
It's good stuff.
Meat hat. Yeah, there he is. A bizarre moment in human history. And with that to say, I think we should end it. We're at 50 minutes here.
Yeah, let's end it. I've got a few more ideas, both good and bad. So we can do another one at some point. Maybe we'll do it next time. Maybe we won't.
I mean, if you've got another 10 minutes, if you've got two small ideas, or are they going to be big ideas?
I've got small and big. I've got the Shawshank Redemption, but you just get the opposite of the word redemption, and it's them breaking it into, now we got to get back into Shawshank Prison. And yeah, that's it. That's small idea number one. I
thought you meant like as in redemption was like literally backwards. So Shawshank. Sorry.
Or
and then what was the other one?
Well, I don't know if it's a sequel or just an extended cut. It would be Scarface 2. He gets up out of the pool and there's another 45 minutes of machine gun firing. And that's it.
It's just the last 10 minutes just extended for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think there might actually be a sequel to Scarface, isn't there?
I know they did that video game.
There is a okay, maybe I'm thinking of the video game then. Yeah, Scarface: The World Is Yours.
Yeah.
So
which sort of ignores most of the Oh no, I think it takes in most of the film, but it ignores the ending.
But does that count as a sequel or a remake or a reimagining?
I would guess that would be more of a reimagining, although I'm now looking up...
It does say the game begins during the final scene of the original movie.
Yeah, and I think it sort of ruins the whole message of the movie in that crime doesn't pay and all that. And I think in the game you shoot your way out and you succeed, and I think it ends up becoming very sort of GTA like
an alternate reality kind of version of Scarface where Scarface lives.
Yeah.
He no longer has a scar anymore. Healed face. Normal face.
Normal face. A Scarface saga.
That's what I would... Yeah. Anyway, I think...
Godfather Part 3, the Godfather saga. Sorry, go on.
Are you okay?
Star Wars Episode 3, the Star Wars saga.
I think we should just do a whole episode of just you listing titles of potential sequels.
There are sequels. Lion King 3.5. The Lion King saga. Simba's saga. Simba's Pride. Simba's saga. Just all the colons. Lion King 2, colon.
Avatar 5. The Avatar saga.
Lion King 2, colon. Simba's Pride, colon. Simba's saga, colon. The Lion King saga.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
That's gold.
Hannah Montana 5. The Tony Montana's daughter saga. Imagine a world where Hannah Montana was actually Tony Montana's daughter.
Yeah.
There's your sequel.
There is your sequel. I mean, it's all so obvious now. They have the same name.
She tried to live a double life as a pop star, but who knew that she was a gangster?
I've been watching your music videos. I don't get why you're just swinging on a chain, on a ball. Are you trying to say that all you have are your balls and your work, and you won't break them for no one? Yes, Daddy, that's what I'm saying. Good. Shkum, Hannah Montana, Scarface saga.
Is this also in the Terminator 2 font? And it's just the two doors come down and flames start rising. Yeah.
Oh no! I think it should be Hannah Montana in the Hannah Montana title font, whatever that is.
Right.
But then underneath you just get like a Scarface saga, and it's just in like cocaine font.
Yeah.
So it appears
blood comes out.
So Scarface is in cocaine. It comes on like snow, like, and then like you say with the machine gun for the word saga.
Yeah. The blood starts pouring out of the machine gun holes. Yeah, I like that a lot. I did come up with an idea. You know how there's that trend of making movies out of video games?
Right.
Could there be a movie made out of a video game that is like the game that you could never be made? Like Lemmings or something like that.
Yeah, or Pong or...
Did you ever play Lemmings? Man, Lemmings was a great game.
I never played it. I've heard of it, and I've sort of seen screenshots.
You're like these little... Well, you're not them, but you control these little people with green hair and big shoes and blue shirts, and they literally walk aimlessly, and you have to try and get them from one end to the other. But then at some point there's like fire, or there's like a edge of a cliff or something.
Oh, okay.
You can't let them all die. Yeah. So imagine that as a movie. Crazy. Would you be following the one person?
I suppose it would be like a Michael type character from Arrested Development, as he's trying to like guide these people to. Do you know what I mean by like a Michael type character? Like he's very put upon and.
Yep. Jason Bateman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great series.
Just Jason Bateman.
Just Jason Bateman. Yeah.
Jason Bateman is Lemmings. A Lemming saga.
A Scarface saga.
Just cocaine for no reason.
Lemmings.
A Jason Bateman vehicle. I think we should totally. One day, I want to take a trip to LA with you and just pitch all these ideas to some studios. To see if anyone
I'm not sure if you've heard of our podcast, good sir, but man, have we got some ideas for you. Anyway, do you know Hannah Montana or Millie Bobby Brown?
I do wonder sometimes, do we patent these ideas? Because if we're just going to put them out in the ether, is some random guy going to come and make, RoboCop 5 or...
Are we really at the point where we think we need to copyright these ideas?
Yes.
Okay, let's copyright. If anyone is listening and wants to steal these ideas, just trust us that they've been copyrighted. I know a lawyer.
If I go to the cinema and start seeing Shawshank Redemption, this time it's backwards.
If I see like the Shawshank Betrayal, or I've got some more antonyms, the Shawshank Abandonment, the Shawshank Damnification. That's what we should go with.
Oh wow! Or what if Tim Robbins? Is that his
Tim
name?
Curry? Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. No, that's. Hang on. That might work, because I was going to think of what if the character that Tim Robbins plays escapes prison, becomes a chef. The name of the title, The Lamb Shank Redemption, featuring Tim Curry, because he's got curry in his name. He makes some food for a living, and then
he makes food. Shawshank Redemption Saga, and then Morgan Freeman.
And then this is the way. And then the reason why he has to get back into prison is so that he can cook for Morgan Freeman.
I think we really should have ended it with.
I think that should be the end. Right. Anyway, that's it. I've been Leslie. We've been chatting for like an hour.
I have been Matt, and I can confirm that we have been chatting.
But also, we have been chatting pitch. Join us next time when we do more random stuff to do with movies and pretend like we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, next time we might do a recasting. We might do sequels again. See how we go.
If you want to follow us on Twitter, we have a Twitter page called Chatting Pitch, @ChattingPitch. Yeah, you follow us up for updates. That's what they do, right? Podcast people.
Yeah, I think they do like updates and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, we say, listen to our... No, we say, like, read our tweets. And then people go to our Twitter. And then our Twitter account just says, listen to our podcast. So then they go to our podcast. And our podcast just says, read our tweets. And then it's just a big circle.
Yeah, and then they go back and forth and then they just explode. They're like, too much.
It's like Head Scanners 2. A Head Scanners saga.